What's good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle Academics. Wayno and Nadeska here. Before we started rolling, I heard Ak say you had a very uneventful weekend. Wayno, same for you?
My weekend was pretty chill. I was in Atlanta, for a few days,
We're not in the streets these days, man. You're able to be downplaying it.
No, I'm not, man. I'm out here handling some business. So I was just out, running around Atlanta, having a few conversations, meeting a few people. That's all. I didn't do too much though. I was kind of chilling.
How are you? You're out of state, running around having business meetings, but you didn't do too much. Okay,
yeah, that's not nothing. I stay low. Like when I go places, I don't tell nobody. I don't post nothing. I just be, I stay to myself. Don't do too much.
It was a light weekend for Wayno, man. But I mean, I ain't really do shit. I just can't remember nothing that I did that was eventful, except listen to Drake. But other than that,
except
what'd you do?
I took my nephew apple picking.
Really?
I was trying to be a good auntie out here.
That sounds lit. Like that sounds
some
really
nice,
cool.
wholesome family activities. We got a big pumpkin too, so I got to figure out how to carve that for him. But we'll see.
Hey, for the audience, that's how you know the desk is rich. I don't even know where Apples is at where I'm at.
Yo.
They got orchards. They got orchards and all type of shit by the desk. Yo, apple picking. Okay, that sounds dope. You know what I mean? Good shit.
If you say so, academics, man with the new mansion. Let's get into some music today to start the show. I don't believe we've ever started with Hit, Brick, or Wait on It, but I think it makes sense on this lovely Monday, starting with Kanye, new record, Nah Nah Nah. So remember, he's teased that he was dropping an album a few months ago, a couple times, and then changed his mind, which made sense. He had a lot going on in his private life, but we did get this new record. On it, he talks about, of course, his presidential aspirations and such. So let's start with you, academics. Is this the music you've been waiting to hear from Ye?
Damn, if you set it up like that, fuck no. But
okay.
I mean, the music I want to hear, or do I think it's dope? I think it's a decent song. I'm gonna go with Wait on It for this one, just because I think Kanye is using his music like he has before, whether it was during the Yeezus time period, to kind of push forward some of his social agendas. And right now, he's definitely focused on his political career, and music like such is, he's still trying to stay in this non-secular stuff, but he ain't exactly making hits at this point. So, by the way, the baby did jump on it. I think it's a decent record, but is it something that is going to be going crazy? If you ask me, I say no. Do I think it's whack though? I'm gonna say no as well.
Right on. Okay, Wayno?
I mean, Academics is being very, very nice. I think Academics has changed a bit. Like, I think he's being very, very nice to Kanye. I mean, honestly, ironically, it's a nod for me. I don't think that it's really a good record like that. I think that Kanye's music, and it has nothing to do with his political views and none of that. It's just his music hits different for me now. Like, it doesn't impact me the way it used to. The record that he dropped earlier this year with Travis Scott, I felt like he was jumping a little bit in Travis's world, which I thought was dope. I thought that could have been something if it would have been worked right. But Kanye, I think that Kanye's music now is just like a campaign video. You know what I mean? Like there's not gonna be too much thought put into it. It's just gonna come out and it's gonna come and go. Like I said, the song with Travis Scott, a lot of people forgot that even dropped. When Kanye makes music, or when he puts out music now, it doesn't impact like it used to, because he has so many other things going on. But musically, it's a brick for me. I know it's going to be probably a hit for others and a wait on it for a lot of other people, but for me, it's a brick.
Okay, fair enough. So the remix with the baby is coming. He did preview that little snippet. He also said he's going to be on the Joe Rogan podcast this Friday. I know you guys are both big fans of Joe Rogan. Is this a conversation that you're looking forward to? Kanye sometimes sort of takes over the conversation, I guess you could say it lightly. I'm not sure if Joe Rogan's going to let that happen. So what are your expectations?
I think he's going to do a lot of spinning. I think that he's really good at spinning, but I think that that's because he's really, I wouldn't consider him a politician fully now, but I figured that like he's learned how to have the politician conversation, and politicians are really good at spinning shit. So I think that I'm looking for Kanye to be honest in some spaces, but hopefully Joe Rogan asks questions that we would like to get answers to, and actually get an answer out of him. But I think he's going to probably spin a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Kanye knows how to kind of pick him at this point. I think, Charlemagne, who has been very polarized on his, point of view about Kanye, when Kanye did sit down with him, like, Charlamagne actually warmed up a little bit, and I think he notices who publicly is giving him a chance, and I think he looks at those people as having open minds, and he wants to sit down to maybe kind of further either push his propaganda or whatever. If you listen to kind of the clip that prompted Kanye to say he wants to sit down with Joe Rogan was kind of saying, "Hey, listen, I think I get this guy. Like, this guy is someone who's kind of a thinker. He's a brainiac. He's kind of on a different level. He's misunderstood." All type of adjectives that I believe that Kanye loves to say about himself. So when somebody else is stroking your ego from afar and also is down to kind of think on the same wavelength as you're in, also somebody with a powerful platform like Joe Rogan, of course he's going to do it. You get me? So I don't think it's going to be as contentious as Wayno think. I think it's going to be a lot of, oh, okay, I get it. But still a couple hard-hitting questions, but not really anything challenging where it's going to be back and forth.
Okay, well, we'll definitely talk about it next Monday, I'm sure.
I want to see if he asks him anything about Caitlyn Jenner. Because Joe Rogan and Caitlyn Jenner have this thing where they go back and forth a lot.
They beefing?
Do they?
Oh, what? Really? You didn't know that? Beefing crazy. No. So I want to, I mean.
You said beefing crazy. Come on.
I'm not, seriously. I'm not even joking. Seriously. Like, beefing crazy. So I want to see if, like, he asks him any questions about that.
Wow, it's the most random beef I've heard of this year.
Well, I mean, if you ask me just off like some of my knowledge about Joe Rogan recently, I would imagine he would probably use that platform to clarify his personal stance on, the transgender community, because he just signed on Spotify and people have been trying to get him the fuck out of there for transphobic comments and podcasts he's done in the past. So I don't see him trying to take cheap shots at Caitlyn Jenner, unless he's trying to fumble the $100 million bag, which that'd be pretty dumb.
I mean, I just want to, speaking on that, I just want to see him have an honest conversation. I think that's what makes Joe Rogan's podcast so good, is just that regardless to, anybody's personal views, he's honest with how he approaches the conversation. So it's like you can always appreciate that, whether you feel a person's right or wrong.
All right, y'all. So this next record for Hit Brick or Wait on It, I think we got to thank Wayno for putting this one together. Sada Baby featuring Nicki Minaj, Whole Lotta Choppas, the remix. So this is the first time we're hearing Nicki on a song since she gave birth. And on it, she talks about wanting to have a play date with Drake's son, Adonis, which of course got Drake's attention. Wayno, I'm going to start with Ak again on this one. What do you think about this song?
You starting with me or you starting with him?
You.
I like it. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of the original song. Like, it's a little weird bop. But I think Nicki went crazy on this shit. Like, to be honest, I think Nicki's been on a phenomenal run. I think she completes this record. And I think it's a great look for Sada Baby as well. So this is definitely a hit. It's definitely a hit. It's definitely gonna work. And it works.
Come on, y'all already. Come on, Nadeska. You already know what I think. But just to give people clarification on me and Sada Baby's relationship. A lot of people think that I'm his manager. I'm not his manager. I'm his A&R.
Wait, you're not?
No, I'm not his manager. I'm his A&R.
Oh, I really didn't know.
No, I'm sorry.
Yo, I've been seeing mad people shout out Wayno this weekend. I'm like, what the fuck did Wayno do? They're like, yo.
I stay quiet, man. That's what I do.
I seen somebody shout out Wayno like, yo, Wayno gonna be on the billboards next week. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, clarify who said that was Karen Silver.
Karen Silver said that. You know what I mean?
Somebody saying that. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, it's Karen. And also she shouted out Hovain as well. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? I'm like, what type of Illuminati thing is going on out here? Wayno, you need to clarify whose hand you got, which pot you got your hand in, brother. So you're the manager or the what?
No, I'm his A&R. But I mean, the way we got the record, the way we got the record done was through my man Derek Milano. You know what I mean? Producer. He hit me up one day and was like, yo, this, because the record was moving on its own and we was just trying to add like, whatever we
I've heard people talk about it like, yo, that shit's fire.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, it was like really not shocking, but it was like it was dope the way everything came together. Yo, she really did the record right before she had the baby. Like we got the record back like right before the day she had the baby, and then the day after she had the baby, they was hitting us like, yo, when's the record dropping? Like, you know what I mean? So she's really on top of her business. Super salute to Nicki, and salute to all the Barbs. I hope I've redeemed myself.
Also salute to you, Wayno. That's really dope that you got to put this record together. Congrats, my friend.
Thank you. And my whole entire Asylum team. Let me thank them. Everybody at Asylum.
So our final track.
Wayno out here making moves? Okay.
Hey, come on. Try to get a mansion like that. Come on.
True. All right, so our last record is Young Blue featuring Drake. Your Mind Still, the remix, obviously their first time collaborating. Academics, let's hear it.
Wait, real quick. Wait, hold on. Let me go first because, it's a few times where I used to bring up my man Young Blue to Academics, and Academics used to be curving my man. Like let's keep it all the way 1,000. Like this is the amazing part about how Act calls it the Drake stimulus package, because Drake changes minds. Like Drake should probably run for president one day because Drake changes minds. Academics. Like a year and a half ago, I used to be telling you about my man Young Blue. Yo, you heard of my man Blue Vandross? Oh man, the down south nigga, I don't know too much about him, man. I ain't really paying too much mind.
Cap.
Confirm.
No cap.
Confirming everything Reno is saying here.
That's not no cap at all.
Let's be honest. Let's be
The
honest.
desk is definitely lying. Hold on.
Academics.
Yo, in the words
Why
of
would
justice,
you-
cap.
Honest
Lies.
academic. Be honest.
Yo, hold on. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember you specifically mentioning Young Blue.
Do you remember being dismissive
Hold on.
of him in more recent times? We heard this record was coming before it dropped.
Hold on.
You're still being dismissive.
Listen. I'm not one of them niggas that's ever gonna wait till a nigga get a record and be like, oh, I've been on the bandwagon the whole time. Fuck no. I kind of tune in more because of Drake. Of course, I'm not knowing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't remember Wayno specifically saying Young Blue before. Now, if he did, I would probably ask him what record, because usually I catch on with an artist when they got one. I'm not one of them niggas who is just following the whole artist's career before they blow up. Meet you at the top, nigga. I don't want to see you while you're running up the run. I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm gonna be honest. So, but, fine, Wayne, I'll give you that. But I don't remember.
So, what do you think about the record then, Ak?
Oh, this is a classic. Classic. By the way, the record itself,
just the remix is a classic.
No. The actual let me tell you this. He has a really distinct sound. He's not comparable to this artist, but in terms of his sound being so distinct that I can't compare it to another artist, and his style as well, it reminded me one of the first time I heard YNW Melly. I know Melly's like my favorite. It feels like it's so out there left field that even if Drake didn't hop on this song, one of his songs was gonna go. You get me? Because he has a super unique voice, super unique flow, super unique sound. One of those joints are gonna go. This particular song, even without Drake, the original, I think is really good. It probably would have went on its own, right? But I'm not gonna lie, the Drake stimulus package is definitely like gasoline.
So wait, no. You have
classic.
to add the stimulus package part. Listen, all right,
we got to talk about Drake's verse. This is classic.
You've liked his music previously. What do you think about the remix, and then just generally what this does for his career?
Well, Blue, I've been up on Blue for about 2 years now, and I just watched him like just work. And the thing about it is, he's another one of those artists that quietly has like a bunch of plaques. Because in the South, like his music, he gets a lot of radio play, and he has a crazy fan base. I mean, to see him get the Drake feature before I even heard the record, I was just like, damn, like that's really showing. When you get the Drake feature, that just shows that you've been putting in the right type of work. The record is dope, of course. I mean, the record is dope, but like, I just want Academics to just go back, go listen to Blue Vandross 2. You know what I mean? Go listen to the Investment tapes. I mean, just get a little bit in tune, because this kid been grinding for a little minute.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna check him out too. And by the way, when he first like showed the message with Drake, nigga, I got up in his DMs. I said, nigga, send me the record. I can't wait till Friday. See,
you are that nigga that's like, oh, once you get, you did hop on the bandwagon. Talk about you not. Yes, you is.
Nigga, I wanted the Drake verse. He could have cut his shit. No disrespect. I'm just like, come on, man. Come on. Anyway, I need a short list of Young Blue's music. I'm gonna check it out. By the way, again, hey, Drake's an A&R himself. He's identifying and also giving a platform to talent that, again, he's not creating these motherfuckers, but clearly sometimes he has an ear for where the general public or people who might just be into his shit and some other stuff might be sleeping on. So, again,
he's definitely one of the artists, like, for him to be in the position he's in, he's always grabbing like a up and coming person that will probably never get a feature from somebody his stature. Like but I don't think anybody's ever done that. That's one thing I do give him wild credit for, because like he'll go get somebody that you've never heard of and get on a record with them, as opposed to like a lot of other people got to get to a certain level to get that.
And by the way, I think it's the same thing with his label mate Nicki. I think Nicki doing that with Sada Baby, and him obviously doing that with Young Blue. I think both of them they're identifying young talent who are kind of making a buzz very organically within a certain circles, and they probably know that is so organic enough where like if you blow it up and it becomes like a hit, that shit works way better than something that's completely fabricated and whatever like that we see a lot of artists do a lot of times get hits. So, good for both artists.
Yeah. Shout out to Young Blue. He's also a nice guy, and it's good to see him get a bigger mainstream look. He deserves it.
Right.
All right. So I don't know when Kanye is actually dropping this remix with DaBaby. Who knows? It could be out by the time this episode drops in a few hours. But if not, you can hear a little preview of it on Ye's Twitter account. In the meantime, DaBaby hopped on Twitter. He said he has one of the top 5 hottest flows in the game right now. Would you gentlemen agree? What are you looking up into the sky for?
Because actually, I think this is like, if you don't like DaBaby or you're one of them niggas who complain, yo, he rap the same on every song, you're probably saying this is fucking absurd. But I'm gonna be very honest, like DaBaby is arguably a top 5 rapper. That flow is his signature. Him saying that, I think that's a decent point. Here's the only reason why I would contest it. So I'm agreeing elsewise because like that flow has helped him become one of the top rappers in the game. But I'm not going to fully agree because all the top 5 flows everybody else imitates, and I don't see a lot of people imitating DaBaby's flow. And Wayne, I see Wayne making his face, but I hope you could give me a couple names. Like when you think about the Migos flow, this everybody did that. Like Thug's flow, you see Gunna, Lil Keed, all the kids, they or all his children, they're all imitating that flow. Usually when you see a flow that's kind of popular or hot at the moment, it's replicated a lot. I think DaBaby's flow, while it's dope, it's unique, I don't see it being replicated too much in hip hop.
Well, I think, the reason why I made the face is because not that because it's not replicated. I just think that it's difficult to do. Now, I think for the big general idea of DaBaby's flow is that, like you said, like he keeps making Suge 100 times, and that's not true. I think for the most people that hear him rap a certain way, he does rap a certain way like that on his singles. But if you listen to a lot of, like, on his last album, Blind, the joint with Thugger, that's a whole different flow. The TLC joint with Gunna, that's a different flow. You know what I mean? Like, he switches it up a bit. Now, on the singles, it kind of it stays a little bit the same. But yeah, he got a lot of different ways to flow. I think that people was just unfair because they just only listen to the singles. And if you go back, like, all the way back to, like, the Blink Blink tapes, and I forgot the tape that was on, I think it was probably the Baby, not Baby on Baby. It's another tape where it's a baby on it. He changed his flow a lot of times. But I don't knock it because it's working for him. I mean, 21 doesn't change his flow much, but he has like when you hear him come on the track, you know what you're gonna get from it. Like, you know what you're gonna get from it at all times. And I think that people are just unfair to DaBaby because his most successful records come with that flow.
Yeah. I think also simplicity hurts him because it's simple. His flow and some of the beats he uses, people hear the same beat again and him kind of with the same variation of that flow and give him a lot of flack. But let's be clear. Like, I think that, number one, first of all, his last very hugely successful song, Rockstar, got a whole different niggas singing it now. You know what I mean? Like, again, people, I think sometimes Twitter and the internet will latch onto something, and even if they're being constantly proven wrong, it just sounds good to say.
Yeah,
because they're not letting that go.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like it's good for that conversation that stays in that one pocket. But if you listen, that's why there's a big difference between a person that just fucks with the singles and a person that listens to the albums. Because if you listen to the albums, it's a bunch of different shit he does on it. But I think it's like a funny conversation for people to pass time when they're talking about music to just say that he only does one thing. He doesn't. And if he does, like, I'm just saying this, like, factor in how much work he's put out in the past 2 years. Like, that shit ain't easy to keep, if he is selling the same shit, to keep being successful with it.
Yo, and you made another great point. There's mad rappers who definitely use the same flow more than him.
Yeah.
21's my guy. 21
yeah,
does.
I love him
too. Even to extent Meek does too. Like,
absolutely.
And by the way, those are their signatures. You can't blame these niggas for, they got 10 plus, at least Meek got a 10 plus year career. Let that nigga do what he do, you know what I mean? But again, people go through these phases until, like, they find something else to latch onto.
Right.
All right, shout out to the baby. Looking forward to this remix. And right now, gentlemen, let's take a little bit of a left turn away from music. So last week, Trump's team revealed that Ice Cube has been working with his administration on what they're calling the Platinum Plan for his campaign. So this plan is supposed to bring almost $500 billion into Black communities. So it's going to help with things like affordable healthcare, capital for Black businesses, educational opportunities, and more. Ice Cube did confirm this when the reports came out, saying, "Facts, I put out the contract with Black America." He said, "Both parties contacted me. The Dems said we'll address the contract after the election." He goes on to say the Trump campaign just made some adjustments but wanted to move forward with it. Now, of course, Black Twitter was not necessarily feeling this. So Cube replied, he said, "When I got the bus to school, homies called me a sellout. When I started rapping in 83, bangers called me a sellout. When I left NWA, they called me a sellout. When I started doing movies, rappers called me a sellout." You get the gist here. So basically, it doesn't seem like his feelings were hurt about this. I read a long political article where basically his team has been working behind the scenes on this for months. They took meetings with both parties, like he said, to see who was serious. Like, he didn't go to all of them necessarily because he didn't want the Trump administration to just use him for a photo op. But he's saying it doesn't really matter which party. He's just trying to get things done for the Black community. So what do you guys think about this effort? Do you respect Ice Cube's move here?
I would like to know what Wayno thinks.
Okay. When things like, all right, so this whole thing that Ice Cube is doing, when I look at like how stuff is going in this country, regardless to Trump, when it was Bush, Obama, etc., right? The biggest thing for me, being a young Black man and growing into an older Black man in this country, is, and when I'm making my voting decisions, is to figure out, like, what does this benefit my people? That's my biggest concern. It's like, how do my people benefit from whomever's in office? And not just from a financial standpoint, but from a opportunity standpoint. I always said, like, we need like financial reform. You know, we talk about prison reform and all these other things, and I always feel like we need an equal shot to be in some sort of playing field where we could build some sort of generational wealth, where we can get opportunities that are gonna help us going forward in our lives. When I seen the whole thing with Ice Cube, I didn't say, oh, well, he spoke to Trump, because I look at it like this, right? Yes, I got a lot of personal feelings about Trump, about how he feels, you know, towards Black people, towards every other race, and that might rub me the wrong way. But whether this thing goes down with Trump or not, I like the fact that Ice Cube was willing to put himself in a position to have a conversation to say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish, whether it's with the Trump administration or the Biden administration, because either one of them, somebody's going to be in office for the next 4 years. You know, so I think that is good to put himself in that position. That takes a lot, because all the backlash he's getting, if he's able to execute anything that can benefit Black people, then people are going to be happy once it's done. Now, he has to, like, you have to have some sort of conversation. Now, while a lot of people might not like Trump or whatever, agree with Trump, if he's in office, we're going to want to try to figure out some type of ways that we're going to survive the next 4 years. And I don't think that just specifically entails selling out. That entails, like, who's going to be the person to go over that hill and catch them arrows? And I think that's what he was really doing. Would I have done that? I don't know. I don't know so much in that field. Like, I'm not qualified to speak on what he's in that office talking about. But what I would say is that if I did have the opportunity to create opportunities for my people, I would want to talk to whatever administration it was, either, regardless of Trump, Biden, or whomever else. Because somebody's going to be running the country. And if you can't put, like, the personal shit aside to try to make something happen, then I don't know where that leaves us.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna just start off by saying, listen, I'm not as knowledgeable on what this whole thing is as maybe the people who are working on Ice Cube's team, or some of the people who don't fuck with it at all, right? Again, I'm not a political pundit, but from what it looks like on the overall gist of shit, is that, like, yo, Ice Cube ain't trying to play political games. And he's saying, listen, I work with anybody if we could get the ball rolling quick enough for my people. And it don't matter who it is. Again, I'm not going to look a gift horse in his mouth, but we need shit now. Like, I pay attention to politics here and there. But what happens in politics is they play two type of games, which is sickening and disgusting, especially for the American people, and especially for black people. They play the waiting game and they play the credit game, which means nobody wants to actually like do some shit if the other motherfucker gonna get credit, right? While people are suffering. I seen like Nancy Pelosi get up on CNN, and she was basically like, she had all types of but ifs and like all type of shit to say why she not approving to the stimulus package that could help Americans. Like literally, like she's the only person really who's holding the shit up for the next stimulus package that could get these refund checks out to people, or not refund checks, but these stimulus checks to people that could have money in the pockets of Americans. What is she doing? It's really politics. Now, if you listen to her, and that's what I'm saying, you get lost in politics a lot. I'm listening to her explanation, and she's like, oh, well, we're not approving it right now because of like, yo, he got tax breaks for the rich and this and third. Yeah, cool and everything, but there's niggas that need that money now. Like, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna just play this political game where, yo, he gotta come over to. So again, I on face value, I appreciate what Ice Cube has done, because he's trying to make moves for his people, and he realized, shit, you don't gotta like Trump. I'm pretty sure you don't fuck with Trump like that. See, say he go to the meetings, he ain't Kanyeing it up like, yo, I'm shucking and jiving here, I'm with my best friend. But we as a people, and especially, you know, us African Americans, black and brown people, like, yo, we need help now. And again, you know, I'm one of the privileged people. Some of y'all, well, definitely in Deska. But we're privileged. But on some real, like, yo, just looking out, like, what's going on now, we're in this pandemic, man, we got to get some shit going on now. And again, what's happening is that, like, you know, as we have some of these, like, we see them do a whole debate, and they talked about black people issue for like a minute, and it was less than a minute and 30 minutes, less than a minute and a half. What you gonna do? Just kind of keep riding on the same boat, hoping that something trickles down to you? Or if you have a chance to get in a position to influence something that can help your community, it doesn't matter with who, you make it happen. So I wish people didn't get down and just automatically think he's a sellout this quickly without seeing it materialize. But I understand the disdain and dislike for Trump will make a nigga jump to rush to judgment. It's just like with the Jay-Z thing, though. Just like how we felt like he has so much cultural capital that we should give him a little time to see how it manifests. Or is this some shit where you're just a pawn for this man's reelection? Again, time will tell. But I think Ice Cube, someone who, you know, just over the years has made it clear that he's not for self. He's not only for self-progress or financial progress for himself. He's for the progress of the people. I think we should give him some chance.
Yeah, after hearing everything that he said, and if you watch his videos, he's clear that he's done a lot of research, and it's the things that we all know. It's like systems that have been built to keep Black people and people of color down. So my biggest question for him, I guess, would be, what happens if Trump doesn't win? You know, then does he have to meet with the Democrats again to make it happen? Because he said in that meeting, they basically were like, look, it's kind of really close to the election. We need to get through this first, and then we could talk and you could have a seat at the table. So regardless, I just hope he's able to push it through, because $500 billion for the Black community is a lot of money and is well needed, like you guys said.
I just real quick, I just really want to know, like, if it does happen on either side, what does that shit go to? Because this whole year I've been seeing so much money going here, and I haven't seen like an actual action plan that comes out of a lot of stuff. A lot of money donated over here. A lot of money donated over here. Not saying that everybody's supposed to get a check in their pocket. I just want to know, like, when they say this goes to the Black community or inclusion or diversity and this, that, and the third, what does that exactly entail? Because all the words look nice, but what's behind the curtain is what I don't, actually understand. So I want to know how these things, transpire.
Yeah, and I was also saying, even if, say, Trump don't win and it's, the Democrats now have control of the executive office, I do think it's leverage kind of letting niggas know, yo, we don't only have to cut a deal with y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Again, if you've ever been to any negotiation table and if they feel that they're the only one giving you an offer, you're going to be limited in what you could ask for, and you're going to kind of have to take what you get. Mm-hmm. This is a move to let people know that, yeah, you can't just kind of box us in because, we can't go talk to the other side because of public backlashes and third. We're going to go wherever the best deal is. I think that's to some of the point where Diddy's going with the Black Party. You know what I mean? he wants a party where that's just for us, not where we just lean in with other niggas' agenda. We got our own shit, and whoever fits it at the moment that can help out on one thing or the other, we rock with you on that specific thing, and then we keep it moving. Let's just try to, better ourselves and better our situations, because this election don't look like it's really for us. This look like, I seen some shit in like South Carolina. One of these motherfuckers, they still talking about segregation. They said it was the good old days. This ain't for us. You feel me? Like, you gotta get what you can, dip one out the way, and just hopefully you can make it better for, like, if you got younger brothers or you got kids or somebody else, because this shit is spooky now.
So what Ak is talking about is some news that Diddy announced recently. He said, I'm launching one of the boldest things I've ever launched. I'm launching a black political party with some young black elected officials and activists. It's called Our Black Party. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or a Democrat. He then went on to say that we should vote for Biden, and also asked the black community to hold Biden accountable, if or when he's in office. So bipartisanship, it seems like, is important, and that's something we've really, really lost under this administration. It's become this just horrible fight, Republicans versus Democrat, which makes it really difficult to get things done. So it is nice that our black heroes are, out here trying to fight for us. Hopefully we progress in the right direction. And now is a good time to remind you guys, go vote. Go vote early if you can. Academics Wayno, have you voted yet? Are you voting early?
I got my mail-in ballot. I just got to send it out.
Cool.
Nah, I figured out to vote. I ain't vote yet. You know what I mean? I'm still making up my mind. You know what I mean? Still see what's going on in the landscape. You know what I mean? Kanye don't get no shout outs in this segment, or
what do you want to shout him out for?
He be on some of the ballots. I'm playing.
Let's see what his platinum plan for black people is. Then we could talk more about it.
Yeezys for all.
One of them houses that look like an egg. One of them shits, right?
Oh, man.
So before we go, just, want to send our condolences to Fetty Wap. His younger brother was killed in New Jersey last week. And obviously he's definitely having a difficult time right now. So our condolences and much love to you, Fetty, and your entire family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. A salute to my man Fetty Wap, and definitely prayers goes out to his family. He's one of the people who has made Jersey look proud over the last couple of years. So, my heart goes out to, him and his family during this hard time.
All right. So everybody go vote if you can. And you guys have sent us a lot of fan questions in the past couple of days. We'll get to some of those tomorrow. You can always send us more on Twitter @EverydayStrugg with 2 Gs. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you here tomorrow on Complex.